Hello basketball fans, welcome to Waywinsure's channel. There are many classic moments when Michael Jordan's Bulls playing against New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. April 30, 1991, first round of Eastern Conference playoffs. MJ's famous poster on Patrick Ewing. March 28, 1995, Michael Jordan's famous double nickel game on his first return. 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals. The series went to a decisive Game 7. There was one game, it wasn't that famous, and it was just a regular season game. But this game is a must-watch game in my mind. It was on March 9, 1997, you'll see some great plays like MJ and Ewing's huge dunks, multiple clutch shots by both teams, and what's more, Dennis Rodman fight Patrick Ewing. So let's get started.
It'll be Charles Oakley's job to try to keep him off the boards as much as possible. And also, against Chicago, you've got to take care of the ball. If you turn that ball over, up at the top of the key area, there is no defense for that. They turn it into it.
Dennis back from his third suspension of the season, returned Friday night against Indiana and hauled out 18 rebounds. Knicks control the opening tip. The Knicks with 46 will try to hit Michael Jordan. Jordan able to recover. Jordan at the start being guarded by Allen Houston and goes to the jumper. Michael Jordan ties the game at 2.
Little jump shot.
And Michael Jordan will get many different looks from the Knicks as he did in Chicago in January, and it did not matter, and Jordan hits on his first 2.
And Allen Houston got a little windburn there as Michael just beat him easily with the first step, the quick dribble, and Allen Houston left in the dust.
4-2 Chicago. Here's Houston. He went to the scoop. It appeared that he was going to unleash the jump shot, but he changed his mind while in flight, and the game is tied at 4.
And the Knicks have to be encouraged by that, the fact that Michael's already hit his first 2 jumpers, but Houston going right back at him.
And Jordan again. 3 out of 3 from Michael Jordan here at the start.
Well, Michael told us earlier today, when you asked him about the scoring big against the Knicks, especially here at Madison Square Garden, he said, well, I like to feel it out. I like to see it. Well, Michael's so comfortable with a jump shot this time, actually backing down on Allen Houston to get a little space for himself there to take the fadeaway shot, and then Houston trying to get up on Jordan and make him a driver. That's the strategy for the Knicks today, to make Michael go to the basket where they can maybe put a little body on him, but that time forcing the
offer played tightly by Childs. Here's Jordan over Houston. Oh, he is on fire. Michael Jordan extends to a 10-5 Bulls lead. He has hit 4 of 4 all jump shots.
Well, Michael Jordan on a couple of occasions now has checked the shot clock. Just there he is looking at it at the other end of the floor to see what he had. He had 10 seconds, plenty of time, but when you've got the jumper going like that and you got a little bit of daylight, why not let it go?
14.
Well, Michael Jordan thought that Dennis Rodman was going to need a little help against Larry Johnson, and he backed off, and that's why Allen Houston was so wide.
This week, an in-depth report on the Bulls. Many people think, yes, they do think that they're on the way to another championship. We'll take a look at whether Chicago is beatable, and if so, who are the teams that can do it? Plus, complete recaps from all of today's early games. Foul on John Starks and a technical foul on Starks. So John Starks wasting no time getting to the flow of the game.
And the Bulls wasting no time at going inside with Michael Jordan against John Starks right off the side out of bounds play, and John was just a little shove in the back to push Michael out. That was called quickly. The officials are watching all the inside play very, very closely. You're allowed to have a bent arm in this situation, which John does, but he is using his whole body just to shove Jordan out on it. He felt that there was a little bit on the ticky-tack side, saying he had that arm bent. But by going so hard at the young official, the veteran referee
Ahmad Rashad back at Madison Square Garden, and Marv, you and Matt had been talking about how Michael normally at the beginning of a game sort of sets back and lets the other team, his other teammates do some certain things and really doesn't take charge. Well, he told me earlier that the key to this game was to make sure that the Bulls could withstand the Knicks' initial charge, because it was a big game. It was very exciting here, and they would come out and play it very strong. So Michael coming out being a very assertive and shooting 4 of 7 in the first quarter, unlike he normally does in other games. I'm sure that was the reason for that, trying to keep his team involved in the first quarter. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, and the Bulls got off to the good start. They led 14-5, but over the last 8.5 minutes, the Knicks able to turn it around.
Normally with the Bulls struggling offensively, they go to Michael Jordan to get something going towards the basket.
And Michael Jordan able to hit. He had missed his previous 5 shots. Jordan now being guarded by Childs.
That was not
the second quarter. And the Knicks are up by 11. Jordan with a series of fakes. Fouled by Childs. He was hacked, and Jordan will go to the line. A reminder, next Saturday, join NBC. Jordan, 1 of 1 at the line. As you see, hit his first 4, 1 of 7 since then.
Charlie Ward beating him off the dribble.
So Allen Houston is back in this first half. Jordan posting up. Setting up Kerr for 3. Yes! Steve Kerr has not been shooting well recently, which is most unusual. Is now 6.
Oh, whenever you play the Bulls, you know Michael Jordan is getting his points. You try to shut down the other people, and you certainly don't want to leave Steve Kerr that wide open for 3. I don't care how poor he's been shooting them lately. He's going to make most of those. Rodman,
an excellent passer, fires on the hop. Picked off by Ewing. Here's Ewing going all the way. 1/10 of a second to go in the half. And Patrick Ewing shaken up. Rodman was back and stepped away. I think Ewing expected some contact. The steal leading to the drive and the stuff. And Ewing hearing it from the crowd as he hobbles his way back to the tunnel, headed to the Knick locker room.
You mentioned Rodman, a good passer. This was a bad one when Patrick Ewing can come up and pick it off that easily. And Patrick has one thing on his mind, take it to the basket. And that should have been a foul on Dennis Rodman on the low bridge as he bent down and hip checked Ewing hard to the floor. Here's the collision. Should have been a foul.
Strong finish by the Knicks. And they're up by 10, 52-42. Patrick Ewing with 14 points, 9 coming in the second quarter. Michael Jordan opened in explosive fashion but cooled off. He has 13 at the half. Coming up in a moment, Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report. 6th assist. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Jordan, Michael Jordan, who has not had the touch tonight. 15 points in all for Jordan. 66-52, New York. Pass intended for Oakland. Jordan putting moves on Houston. And then hits. Beautiful series of fakes by Jordan. And the Knick lead is down to 12.
Now, Michael can't wait around any longer for his teammates to get something going. Coming out in the start of the third quarter, looked like other Bulls were trying to get involved. Not happening. Michael has to take it on his own now and start being more offensive-minded for himself. This time on the semi-break, just waiting to get Allen Houston off his feet. Nothing special that Allen Houston or the Knicks have been doing to Michael. It's just that he has been playing around in the triangle offense to let other players get involved, because he knows he can't go out and score 35, 45, 50 points just anytime he wants to press the button. Other players have to get involved, and this really points out the absence of Tony Kukoc, just that one extra player who can make things happen for himself and for everybody else.
Kukoc try to go glass. And Ward came up with that loose ball. Has a 3-on-1. Picked off by Harper. Fires it down. Jordan with Ewing back. Jordan around Ewing. Oh, what a move. And the foul. that could get the Bulls going. A sensational move by Michael Jordan, who will be headed to the line. 2:21 left in the third. Knicks take the timeout. Ewing stepped away, and then Ward came over to make the contact.
Well, actually, Dennis Rodman forced that turnover from behind on Charlie Ward, and Patrick Ewing really out of his element in that situation, trying to play Michael Jordan one-on-one, open floor, no contest. Well, actually, Michael made his first 4 shots of the game against Allen Houston, scored 13 in the first half, and then was quiet for about the first 8 minutes of this third quarter, and then starting to pick it up very nicely now. Open floor against Patrick Ewing, and an opportunity for a three-point play. He torched Houston early in that first quarter for 11 of his points. Actually, Larry Johnson has even had him a couple of times. So he had 4 against Chris Childs, who also plays him very physically.
Three-point play completed by Jordan. The high post. Here's Pippen for 3. Oh, the rebound is put home. Michael Jordan with 22, and Michael looking to do it in a variety of ways with the jump shot not going down.
And the defensive intensity will pick up right now with Randy Brown, who can apply 90-foot pressure.
Jordan with the steal. Knicks get back, and Jordan took a bump from Ward. Knicks over the foul limit, so Jordan will go to the line.
Well, Michael has tried every which way to get his team going and get himself going in this third quarter. Hit the jumper, hit the open floor plays, this time overpowering and outsizing John Starks inside for the putback.
Michael, 84% free throw shooter, averaging 30.7 to lead the NBA.
To the shot.
Allen Houston 2 of 8 from the field. Here's Jordan slicing his way and fouled by Johnson. Chicago in the midst of an 8-1 run.
Michael meaning business here as he's able to slice right between Buck Williams and John Starks. Tongue out means he's thinking throwdown if he can get there. But Larry Johnson with a good hard foul to keep Michael from getting into a...
Ewing with the shot clock running down. Oh, Rodman and Williams having words and bumping each other as they head down court, and a double technical call or double foul. Let's see. Oh, they were pumping each other pretty good. Apparently a double foul.
2 tough rebounders in there going at it, and then the talking on both parts, and the arm swinging and pushing, and the official Scott Foster wisely blowing the whistle to stop anything right there.
Ewing jumps out to help. Here's Wennington. Dumped it off. Shot clock at 4. Jordan. Michael Jordan. Check in with Ahmad.
You can't get that shot up, but Jason Cappy just slow to react.
Ewing with the rebound and the bucket and the foul. Well, Wennington called for the foul. This now a potential 5-point play for the Knicks.
Well, Buck is a struggling free throw shooter. You have to anticipate miss, even if it's the best free throw shooter in the league. But Bill Wennington just got shoved underneath the basket by Patrick Ewing, unable to rebound when your head is behind the backboard.
The Knicks with a 79-72 lead. Patrick Ewing extends to an 81-72 advantage. 28 points for Ewing. Now Jordan rubbing off Starks. By Childs trying to help out. And the foul called on Starks, his second. Now a timeout is being called. Oh, I hear your music again.
Here's that little pick and pop play. The Bulls sending it to the baseline. Patrick Ewing finding that little open seam right in his range for the jump shot, and the Bulls reacting too slow.
Jordan with the step going grass. Michael has 29. The Knicks lead 87-74.
And John Starks realized the mistake he made there. He let Michael beat him to his right, where he has had some success forcing him left.
Childs rebounded by Jordan. Starks went for the steal. And Jordan able to recover and hit. And the Knicks want a timeout. The Knicks lead is down to 11 with 6:47 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Sharp execution on side out of bounds. Steve Kerr getting hung up on a pickup high as John Starks catches in rhythm and lets the jumper fly. And then there's that isolation again. Starks does a good job of pushing Michael out, but first step too quick, going to his right, and then Starks going for a steal off the dribble. Not quick enough as Michael gathers himself and drains another jump shot.
Today's game. Jordan had the baseline closed by Houston. Parrish on the recovery. And Jordan hits, but it will not count. And oh, look out. Rodman and Ewing face to face. Now Rodman already involved earlier with Buck Williams. Patrick Ewing was ushered aside by assistant coach Brendan Malone. They continue the discussion now with Chris Childs between them.
Steve Kerr has the job now. Both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen both have said, we are not going to babysit him anymore. We're not going to pull him off people. We're not going. You can see Jordan and Pippen are about as far away as you can get, leaving people like Steve Kerr and Parrish to go over and get Rodman away from Patrick Ewing.
Well, a technical foul on Dennis Rodman and a loose ball foul on Rodman off that last play. Starks shooting the technical.
Well, here's the banging as Dennis Rodman put the elbow and arm out, which knocked Patrick Ewing down. But Patrick very careful when he came back up to get in the face of Dennis Rodman that he kept his arms down, so he didn't catch himself with a slap or a punch. Because Patrick Ewing in control of his emotions. They're very upset, but he knows what that would mean to him and the New York Knicks in this important stretch drive by getting suspended. Couple of good looks on good feeds from Patrick Ewing out of double teams, unable to knock the shot down.
Rodman with a nice pass. It counts and the foul. Beautiful shovel feed. Rodman to Parrish, and Parrish goes to the line.
Well, this is what Dennis Rodman can do in the offense. He's a reluctant shooter and scorer, but he realizes that the Bulls have to get some quick scoring here, able to find Robert Parrish underneath on a beautiful feed.
Knicks lead 93-82 with 2:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here is Jordan. Rebound Rodman. Dennis Rodman with his third field goal. He has 9 points, 18 rebounds, and the Knicks lead is down 9.
Michael Jordan trying to do it with the jump shot with the three-pointer. Dennis Rodman, nobody puts a body on him as it comes right to him. And when you go to the basket as much as he does, you're going to get some easy ones. He certainly has to work hard for a lot, but that one he did. That came right to him.
And the chant of defense. Here's Kerr for three. Yes! And the Bulls allowed to hang around and cut it to 6 with 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go. In the fourth quarter, the Knicks take a timeout. At the line, 5 points in all. Parrish fouled by Starks. It's down to 5. It is a 4-point Knicks lead with 1.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Here's pressure by Chicago. Well, the Chief, Robert Parrish, 6 points in 6 minutes. Pippen all over Childs. Oakley setting the pick. Here's Ewing. Parrish digging in. Shot clock at 7. Here's Ewing with the spin. Big bucket. second. Knicks lead 95-89. And Phil Jackson calls for time. 30 points for Patrick Ewing. A minute 11 left. The Knicks with a 6-point lead. A minute 10 remaining in the fourth. Jordan with the step. Golden glass. 95-91. The Knicks lead is down to 4. And here's pressure. Kerr all over Starks. Both clubs are over the foul limit. So the Bulls desperately want to stop here. We're down to 50 seconds. 10 on the shot clock. Oh, a bad pass thrown by Childs. Too much on it.
Well, and he whipped it from like his left hip, where across his body, so Patrick Ewing never saw it coming, and by the time he got his hands up, too hot to handle.
Down to 45 seconds. Chicago with the ball trailing by 4. The Knicks have led by as many as 17. Pippen trying to find Jordan. Jordan guarded by Houston. Oakley over to help. Jordan with the left hand to set it up. It's down to 2. Michael Jordan brings the Bulls within 2. 29 and 2/10 seconds remaining in the fourth, and the Knicks call for time. At 1 point, the Knicks led 93-80 with 3:55 remaining. But this is Michael Jordan's time. First he goes glass from the right side, and then able to set up with the left hand, putting the move on Allen Houston and hitting to cut it to 2. We'll return after these messages from your local station. The Chicago Bulls with a 13-2 run. Michael Jordan with the last 2 field goals. He now has 36 points. The Knicks are down to 1 timeout remaining. Chicago with 2 and a 29 and 2/10 seconds to go. And it will be New York ball.
And the man that wants the ball in this situation is Patrick Ewing. He will usually get his hands on it. The question is, will the Bulls play him one-on-one or double team him and try to force the turnover by knocking the ball out of his hand?
Starks moving on Kerr. Both clubs are over the foul limit. Down to 15 seconds. 10 on the shot clock. Knicks using the clock. And Ewing's shot is good. And Ewing with some words for the Chicago bench. That was a tough angle, and I believe he got a piece of the glass.
He did, and did not call it, but he'll take it. But a smart play there by Patrick Ewing against Robert Parrish. Instead of staying in on the post-up, where it would be congested, maybe a double team, they whooped the clock down to about 8 seconds, and when Patrick catches, faces up on Robert Parrish, looking for drive or shot. And this thing just took the side of the backboard and looks over at the bench as assistant coach Frank Hamlin saying, "Are you kidding me?" Off the glass from that angle. Here it is again as Patrick dead flat, and it did on live action certainly catch the side of the glass, and the Bulls bench could see all of that.
Just nicked the glass from a tough angle from the corner. The Bulls calling for time with fourth quarter. Rodman inbounding. Finding Pippen. And he fires the 3, apparently hoping to get foul call. Here's Rodman backing it up. It's all over. The Knicks have evened the series at 1 apiece with Chicago. 97-93 is the final. That's it from the Garden. Now let's go to Third Rock from the Sun.